Up next, some of the world's best in strength athletics begin their pursuit for a spot in this year's World's Strongest Man final. Two of them have been chasing this world title for nearly a decade. There's Great Britain's Adam Bishop, a three-time finalist, giving it another go in his 9th try. And Latvia's Aivars Šmurkstelis, here again in his 7th attempt at a title. America's Thomas Evans and New Zealand's Matthew Ragg made their debuts just last year. Ragg made it to the final and looks to go even further this week, while Evans looks to avenge his disappointment from a year ago. Then there's the effervescent showman, the Limerick Lion, Ireland's Pa O'Dwyer. And fan favourite, the USA's Rob Kearney, who's going to give it one last try at his very last World's Strongest Man, capping a very distinguished career. So which two will survive a daunting qualifying round and ascend into this year's final? The 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man is next.
Welcome once again to glorious Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, which is the venue for the 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man. Here I am with Eddie Hall, 2017 World's Strongest Man champion. Eddie, while the strongmen here have been going through their paces, we've been enjoying a little bit of the glorious Myrtle Beach fishing. Have you had any luck?
Not as much as you.
Yeah, what can I say? Another big beast in my life. Let's talk about the group coming up today, qualifying Group 3. It features a man who loves a bit of fishing himself, Adam Bishop.
Mr. Bishop is a massive fishing fan. It's what he does in his spare time to relax outside the competition and training. He is looking very strong this year. Not had a good year in comps, but his training is looking super strong. The numbers he's putting up is really good.
Well, on the line for qualifying Group 3, there are 2 places in this year's final. There's 2 Americans in this group, Rob Kearney, making his last appearance at World's Strongest Man, and Thomas Evans, but the big catch for them is that Bish is in there, a former finalist, and also a man who made the final 10 last year, Matthew Ragg. Matthew Ragg's got an unusual background, Eddie.
He has. He's a manager at a fast food chain, and with a job like that, it's really surprising because that will really affect your sleep, your recovery. It makes me think, if he went full-time, what could he do? His numbers on social media, as in deadlifts and overhead, have really improved from last year, so he's coming in so much stronger. All right,
it's going to be a tough group. Also in there is Pa O'Dwyer of Ireland and Aivars Šmurkstelis of Latvia, who's looking strong. Let's see how they all get on. And then one is the Webster Stones, and for that it's over to our commentators, Colin Bryce, and first, Danny Wallace.
Well, thank you, James. Thank you, Eddie. Danny Wallace here alongside the exceptional Colin Bryce. We're here in Myrtle Beach. Group 3 is about to begin. Well, a march to victory with the first event, the Webster Stones.
Well, what they have to do is carry these 2 stones down a 20-metre course and then turn around and keep on going. 250 pounds and 300 pounds. They're awkward, they're uneven. It's
representing
difficult.
Ireland,
as it should be, of course.
O'Dwyer.
That's Pa O'Dwyer.
Yes!
We'll be taking some disgusting pectoral movements there. We'll be taking on
representing
American
the United States,
Rob Kearney.
Final World's Strongest
Said
Man.
just
Give
a
it up
fan
for
favourite,
Rob
5th time here and last time as well, Colin.
Yes, indeed. Big retirement contest for Rob. Big moment for him. He'll want to start, well, blazing fast here. He's good at these kind of events. He's got a great grip. And if he does go down, you get a 10-second count from your referee. Magnus Fair Magnuson on the far side. 4 times World's Strongest Man winner. One of the referees watching on here. And once that 10-second count's over, you've got to pick up and go, and that's it. Go is over the second time.
Rob Kearney is inched in front of Ireland's Pa O'Dwyer. Such concentration needed for this event. Such awkward stones. Just got to get a foot on that line for this awkward turn. Kearney opting to drop.
5, 3, 4, 7.
They're getting the counts now. Pa O'Dwyer's gone down early. That's disappointing for him. Having passed the 20-metre mark, or about 60 foot. Oh, second time, no good there for Kearney.
Absolutely, Kearney and O'Dwyer beaten by the Webster Stones. 16.65 for the Irishman.
It's not a long time to pick it back up, is it? You know, when your hands are biting with pain, they're thin handles. 20:35, there's our leader, Kearney. Well over 60 foot. Impressive. Sadly, he didn't get a second pick up and go at it. Obviously, the pain in his hands too much. You can see he's doing a hook grip. pulling his thumb on the inside. That just adds to the pain, but it locks it in tight.
Thomas Evans.
Another American prepares for the Webster stones. Thomas Evans,
Representing
matched with the Brit.
Adam
Big old Adam
Bishop.
Bishop. Former strength and conditioning coach.
This is the rugby player against the football player.
On the whistle.
He managed to make it onto, well, certainly NFL trials, Tom Evans, a D1 coach, strength and conditioning. Adam Bishop, of course, strength and conditioning coach for Harlequins rugby team. So this is quite an evenly matched pair, certainly in terms of what they've achieved
Cross that line.
in their professional lives. Now professional strongmen to the 20-meter mark for Bishop.
Manages that turn, doesn't he? Seems to have these stones under control. Less so Evans.
Take it on.
Well, he was doing that sideways shuffle technique. He should have got all the way to the line, then turned. It's very tricky once those weights start swinging around.
4, 5, 6.
You don't want them clashing against your knees. That's for one thing. Or on your ankle, as it nearly happened there with Evans, who's down.
Or on your toe. Ouch. Bishop gets a second crack at it. He's going for that second line. If he gets anywhere near it, that's a big distance there.
Certainly takes the lead by some margin. Adam Bishop.
21.66. Let's hear it for
21.66 for Thomas Evans. Puts him in second so far, but a clear leader. Adam Bishop, 35.29 metres.
Yes, just got ahead of Kearney there, Tom Evans. He had a mark to chase. Makes it all the easier. But it's Bishop right now. He's doing all the running.
Well, the continuation of Group 3 when we return.
World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. By Visit Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of where you belong. By the WSM Store, level up your strength, power up with World's Strongest Man gear. And by Kanak, beyond maximum security.
Well, welcome back to the SBD World's Strongest Man and the continuation of Group 3's first event, the very awkward Webster stones. Next, the Latvian Smokstelis, lucky to face here at World's Strongest Man. It's like cold, it seems. We'll be taking on
Matthew Ragg.
very impressive New Zealander Matthew Ragg. Did so well here last year.
Phenomenal. Made the final in his first ever attempt. Came 9th. Perhaps a little disappointing there, but since then, all focus has been on him. And we've been watching on social media in particular. He's done some colossal lifts. And he's now one of the favourites to actually win World's Strongest Man.
35.29 is the marker set down by Adam Bishop, and look at Smokstelis.
He's such a seasoned campaigner, Smokstelis. He's the kind of guy who's a nightmare to have in your heat. Although he's not probably the #1 seed here, he's very good at many events. He really has no weaknesses. Matt Ragg is slow and steady.
8, lift.
But boy, is he tough.
Smokstelis is just a picture of focus and concentration. 35.29 to beat, and he could do it.
Didn't use the hook grip, that's interesting. Ooh, Matt Ragg, little stagger there.
Now,
Did he get that white line?
3,
I think he did, but now he's got to twist
6, 7.
and go. Makes it all the trickier as it knocks against your knees. Just trips you up. Oof, goes down. Not the greatest start for Matt Ragg, but did he go into, well, third ahead of Evans? Yes.
21.93 then for Matthew Ragg. As you say, places him in third. Smokstelis, how did he do?
2.56 meters. Putting him in second place.
So
in
close.
The Webster stones.
32.56 for the Latvian.
Great effort there from Ivars, but not enough to beat Adam Bishop, the man from Hampshire in England. Very quick indeed, that hook grip put to good use. Gets victory in event 1.
He certainly does. So Britain's Adam Bishop takes the early lead, winning the event and earning 6 points. Latvian Smokstelis takes second. America's Evans and Kearney, 4th and 5th respectively. There's still many events to come. Well, this may be the steepest ladder in the world. The strongmen must defeat this next event to put themselves in place to take their group and move on to the final. The deadlift ladder when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man. Well, welcome back to majestic Myrtle Beach, home of the SBD World's Strongest Man, where the athletes of Group 3 are about to begin their second event, the deadlift ladder, Colin.
Yes, indeed. 60 seconds to try and lift all 5 bars, ranging from 300 to 380 kilos. That's 660 pounds. And if you get there, 841 on the last one. A tough task indeed. And our first pair came out. It was Rob Kearney and Pa O'Dwyer. The American did 3 bars in just under 30 seconds. But he was bettered by the Irishman, 4 in 40.11. Well, then it was the turn of Tom Evans, managing all 5 in 52.5 seconds. Massive. Could he be equaled by Matt Ragg, the deadlift king as he is at the moment online? And, well, he proved he could do it in person. 5 in just over 30 seconds.
Representing
So we rejoin
Great
the action.
Adam Bishop.
With Great Britain's Adam Bishop. Such a powerful contender. Just gets better and better every year.
Representing
He's paired with
Latvia,
Schmuck-Stellis again.
Ivar Schmuck-Stellis.
It's our final duo. Podium finisher at Europe's Strongest Man. He's no mug, Ivar Schmuck-Stellis, but Adam Bishop. Well, the referee Darren Sadler there getting us underway. Adam Bishop on the far side. He's arguably the best deadlifter in the world right now in terms of maximum weight, and he certainly is showing it there. Standing up with these weights like they're nothing. 750 plus pounds there, number 3. On to 4 for Bishop. Schmuck-Stellis isn't far behind.
Absolutely nipping at Bishop's heels. But now the big one for Adam Bishop. And it's easy.
He's beaten Ragg's time easily of 30.72.
Just that trail of destruction behind Schmuck-Stellis as he moves on to the big one himself.
Well, big moment here for Schmuck-Stellis. He wants to get this in pretty quickly if he's going to beat Tom Evans' time. He might as well just do a fast 4. Oh no, rooted to the ground.
That was going nowhere. He realised that almost immediately. But a beaming Bishop knows he's done enough.
Well, I've seen that set of weights done many times. That's the fastest I've ever seen by Bishop.
35.88 for the Latvian.
With 5 bars in a time of 27.17.
27.17. An extraordinarily fast time on the deadlift ladder for the mighty Adam Bishop.
Unbelievable. And let me just clarify, when I say fastest time by Bishop, I mean of anyone ever doing this set of weights. It's phenomenal. By a few seconds as well. Great power there from the Brit.
And just that look of elation that swept across his face when he saw that time. So after 2 event wins, Adam Bishop continues to stay on top with 12 points. Ragg behind in second with 9. Kearney and O'Dwyer currently tied for last place with 3 points. So a brutal new event in this year's competition, which will test the strength, endurance and the mental fortitude of our competitors. The Sandbag steeplechase when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. By the WSM Store. Level up your strength. Power up with World's Strongest Man gear. By Visit Myrtle Beach. 60 miles of where you belong. And by Connect. Beyond maximum security.
Well, welcome back to the SBD World's Strongest Man, where the athletes of Group 3 will begin their 3rd event. The terrifying Sandbag steeplechase, Colin.
Yes, indeed. It's 20 meters. You have to carry 3 sandbags over 6 separate segments. This is 75 seconds long, and it's brutal, to say the least. Well, our first pair up, it was USA's Tom Evans. He only managed half the course in 35 seconds. Ivar Schmuck-Stellis, he did 2/3 of it, 4 segments in just under 45.
Well, we move on to the much-respected Rob Kearney, retiring after this year. Let's learn more about him in his SBD Power profile.
Rob Kearney, I'm 32 years old, 5'10", 285 pounds, representing the USA. Last one, last ride. I feel good right now. Mentally, I'm excited to go out and put on one last amazing performance and really just be myself. That's what I'm really excited to do. I've been in it for 15 years. I think back to when I first got my first World's Strongest Man invite in 2017 and filling out the athlete questionnaire. I came up with the quote that said, "Train to become the person they said you would never be." That's really just how I lived my entire career. Being able to wear the rainbow on my face and represent for the LGBTQ+ community every single year that I've been here at Worlds is something I've never taken lightly.
We've been together for 10 years. The sport is just so hyper masculine, but they were one of the first people to kind of like have his back.
To be a person that is open about my relationship with my husband, and I'm really excited to be able to look back on my career and be proud of who I was the entire time I was competing. Before coming into this sport, there was a predisposition and stereotype of what people thought gay was, and being unapologetically me at every single turn has really opened people's eyes.
He is, of course, the legend, Rob Kearney!
This has literally been a dream come true for me. It's really amazing. It's the right time for me to bow out and move on to something else.
Representing the United
Well, he'll be
States,
missed. Great
Rob
man, fantastic
Kearney.
competitor. Done so much for the sport, Rob Kearney. Will be
Representing
head up with.
Ireland, Pa
Still pumping those pecs, Pa
O'Dwyer.
O'Dwyer. The Limerick Lion, quite the showman. That rainbow beard, by the way, 100% natural. Just came out that way.
Well, they have to tackle these 250-pound sacks and get them down 6 different segments. What we've seen from other heats, if you chuck that sack over and give it a big push, of course, the second segment isn't quite so long. So quite clever there from Kearney, shoving it as hard as he can over the hurdle. Back they go for number 2.
Well, it was a smart move from Kearney, and one that I'm sure that Pa O'Dwyer will have learned from. This shield-style sack, just so hard to handle.
Yeah, it doesn't roll so well either.
To dead weight.
Yeah, indeed. Now then, we've seen 2 men go so far. 3 segments and 4 segments. No one's finished this in 75 seconds. It's brutal. It's strength, endurance, at its toughest. Back for the last one, though. They've both done 4 segments. The final sack.
It's a tired turn from both men. Just so difficult to handle, to know where to even put your hands.
It's a horrible dead weight. Now, over the hurdle. O'Dwyer does 5. Can Kearney match? Vital points that. He gives it a little chuck, but he has no time left.
Such a difficult event.
With 5
There to be
segments in a
attacked.
time of
In this heat as well, of course,
1:12.10.
not
Give it
easy.
up for Rob
So, Kearney
Kearney.
manages 5 in 1:12.
With 5 segments in a time of 1:06.62.
That's 6 seconds
Let's
ahead of
hear
him.
it for
Pa O'Dwyer.
O'Dwyer.
Well, with 1 pair to go, that's the best we've seen so far. No one's finished this yet. Looks fairly easy, the first sack, but by the time they got to the second there, Kearney is huffing and puffing.
Representing New Zealand, Matthew
So Matthew Ragg.
Ragg.
Second after 2 events. What will he have learned?
Representing Great Britain,
Observing
Adam
all who've come before him. Same for Bishop. Such an impressive performance already today from Bishop. But what more has he got?
Well, what he's observed so far in the other events is 2 wins for Bishop, who's on fire at the moment. This is going to be a fascinating head-to-head. Bishop very, very fast. Right now, it's Matt Ragg who's doing the running here. He too, of course, is a former rugby player who isn't in New Zealand, but he's well ahead of Bishop here.
Bishop was struggling even just to get under the Well, I mean, he wouldn't be good at limbo, let's put it that way.
Do you know what? It's the biggest Bishop we've ever seen. He's probably 10 kilos heavier, 25 pounds virtually heavier than he normally is, and he's just gone for it this year, stuffing himself all the way through the year, trying to get up to this weight. But Rag looking fast and fit.
Rag, I'll tell you what, has really found a rhythm with this and a momentum. The sooner that sack is over, he's under that bar, ready to pick it up. Straight down, straight up.
I think he's going to finish this. He's got 20 seconds to do this last segment. We are going to have a finisher. It is possible.
Well done, Matthew Rag, first man to finish this course, and he's finished Bishop.
Yeah, only man, I think. Bishop's given
With
up.
6 segments in a time of 58.7 seconds. Give it up for Adam Bishop.
Just under a minute there for 5 segments.
With 6 segments in a time of 1:00.1 seconds. The winner of the Sandbag steeplechase.
Goodness me.
Let's hear it
Look at
for
that.
Matthew Rag.
Almost a minute dead on.
And the only guy to finish, a fast 5 for Bishop, but a very speedy 6 for Matt Rag, the McDonald's manager. Serving up a dose of comeback here, as we have 3 events to go yet.
Yes, he delivered, didn't he? So Adam Bishop continues his dominance, remaining at the top of the leaderboard with 17 points. Rag close behind with 15. In third with a 5-point deficit from second, Schmork Stellis with 10 points. Well, it's a race to the finish ahead. 2 more events till the automatic qualification to the final, and then, of course, the epic stone-off. All to decide our next 2 entrants to the World's Strongest Man final. For James Richardson, Eddie Hall and Colin Bryce, I'm Danny Wallace. In association with 45 Live, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.